Welcome back to the Global Business Report here on Arise News. We're going to be talking about cybersecurity and Nigeria's SMEs. How prepared are they in our Eye on Tech segment? We're taking a look at some of the threats facing Nigerian SMEs when it comes to cybersecurity. As far as awareness is concerned, there's also cost, training, and maintenance. Now, Ikechukwu Luis-Bruce, he is the lead cybersecurity at Descasio. He joins us now to discuss further. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Richard, for having me.
Yeah, look, there was some news earlier in the week in Japan where Toyota had to shut down all of their plants due to a computer glitch. They ruled out hacking, so it was just a glitch. But if we bring that home, right, and how that impacted them, what would you say is the risk level for SMEs in Nigeria when it comes to these cyber attacks?
Oh, once again, thank you for having me, and good afternoon to our viewers. The risk level is very high. I have to say this in all honesty. It's very high. You look at it from two premises. Number one, what do we have as a policy as regards cybersecurity? As an SME, you want to start up something. I give a very wonderful example. You buy a car today, you know very well you have to buy insurance.
Right.
If you leave it as it was, Nigerians don't want to, what's in having insurance? I have a new car, let me just cruise and go. Because there's an insurance policy that whatever you have to get insurance. And there are people that definitely enact those laws. But if you come down to the area of cyber security, find out that there's no proper policy. Even if there are policies, there's no proper enactment. So it goes back to how we can bring up those, if there is available, have to dust it up and make sure it's properly enacted so that SMEs can know their left from their right. Because it's not about taking your business to the cyberspace.
Right.
You might take it to the cyberspace, but do you have the contingency plan? Do you have the roadmap to see how you can sustain your business even on the cyberspace? Because one attack can bring an SME down. Right. Straight up, yeah.
What about individuals? I got my laptop right here on the desk, so I get all my updates on what's going on. How would you assess that threat level for individuals as well?
For individuals, basically, it all boils down to awareness.
Yeah.
I walked into a bank two months ago, and there was this awareness day, like, don't share your BVN.
Right.
So basically, it boils down to awareness. Most people are not aware. Some people just buy a laptop and, okay, put antivirus. They say, no, I don't need antivirus. Something like that. It's expensive. But being that you are going to do cyber things on the internet, you definitely need antivirus.
Yeah.
So as I said, go back to the policy. If there's a policy that for every laptop coming to Nigeria, it must have an antivirus as a basic standard, because that's the first layer of security. So once that has been enacted, you find out that everybody become aware. You know that you don't have to give your PIN away. You have to start using passwordless form of authentication. So this is all about awareness. So if you're not aware,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
You know, you mentioned for every laptop that comes into Nigeria, so that makes me think of imports, right?
Yes.
Would this be any different if Nigeria was manufacturing her own computers and laptops?
No, I don't think so.
It wouldn't be any different?
No, because definitely laptops are manufactured in China.
Right.
America does not manufacture its laptop for its domestic consumption.
Right.
The same way to UK and Australia. Everything comes from China, South Korea, and even Japan. So basically, if we're to manufacture here, it will not affect us because we're talking about cyberspace. It's not that we're talking about brick and mortar. No. Cyberspace, it cuts across whatever was manufactured. And if you look at it this way, if it happens that Chinese were to put a malware into your laptop, that will affect business for them.
Right.
Definitely to affect business for them. Nobody wants to compromise their business relationship. But at the cyberspace is a no man's world. So everything is just, you are open to any form of attack because it's on the cyberspace.
Now, funny enough, one of the presidential candidates actually had this software plan to make our laptops here. What is that something that can even the mobile phones we have here? Is that a pipe dream that we can one day manufacture these electronics here?
I'll give an example with Tata.
Yeah.
How did Tata start? It's Indian based, Indian grown, but now it's in sub-Saharan parts of Africa.
Right. From
India to sub-Saharan part of Africa. So that is, we can start locally and grow globally. I guess the issue with us is we don't want to start locally.
Right.
We want to start globally, and no good economy starts that way. You start locally, you develop your devices. You can develop our laptops here, start from our schools, even the government. I heard the minister talking about CNG cars. Let's start look inward. That's the way we can help our economy. So if we start developing our laptops and our phones here, it will grow our economy. Then we can start scaling globally.
Do we have the training to do so? You've interacted with these people, so we have the technique, the expertise to build them here.
Yes, we have the expertise to build them here. Yes,
fantastic. How would you assess the preparedness of the SMEs you've consulted with and dealt with respect to cybersecurity and possible attacks?
Okay, yes, I'll look at it two ways. Number one is that some SMEs are prepared, but some are not prepared because they feel as if my business plan is all about the numbers, the data, and the people. But they forget that if you are taking your business in the cyberspace, you need to have a cyber plan in case of any form of attack. So most SMEs I've worked with from our organization in Descasio find out that some of them don't have a cyber plan.
Wow.
Anything goes wrong, they are down out of business. But some actually, they have a semblance of, okay, this is what we want to do in case anything happens. They try to invest in the basics. It might not really break the bank, but the basics that can keep them afloat in the cyberspace.
Now, if we talk about, I want you to help me clear something up here. The software obviously we're talking about, antivirus and so on and so forth. That's obviously not made here, right? So, so what about the cost dynamic of keeping up with this?
Wow.
Yeah.
It boils down to the Benjamins, the dollars. That's about the dollars, because we don't make it here. As I said, when we start making things here, find out that we might not have that issue because normal antivirus might cost you hundreds of dollars. You can imagine you have several systems. So most times organizations are like, SMEs like, how can I get for all my systems and my servers? So it becomes an issue. So this is what leads them to become exploited in the cyberspace. But I feel that if it's done here, it will help, and it can be done here. Yeah, it can be done here.
So is there anything else they can do to protect themselves beyond the purchases, or the purchases just have to be made?
For now it has to be made. It has to be made.
So what other forms of protection can, as an SME, can you get through in order to?
I look at it. Let's look at the one that's not actually financial, which is awareness, education, and training. One of my bosses said that if you don't train them, don't blame them.
Okay, I like that.
Because most SMEs are not aware; they're not being trained. People still, people say, okay, my WhatsApp was hacked. My bank account was hacked. Someone called me from the bank and asked for my BVN. Asked, are you not aware that the bank says you should not give a BVN? I say, I'm not aware. Even most SMEs are not aware of, okay, if I go to cyberspace, I might have any form of attack. So that is the issue we have. Some SMEs are not aware, and it starts from awareness. Before you start bringing any form of technology or people or process, are you aware that taking your business to cyberspace, you are prone to any form of attack? If you are aware, that will put in the back of your mind what stop measures to put for your employees and also your customers, which we start from trainings. Because I find that we just train once in a while, once in a year, cybersecurity training. No, it should be something monthly. There should be an awareness about phishing attack, social engineering, and to name but a few. So these are things that organizations must sit down and properly analyze, because once one cyber attack goes wrong, on SME, you are in serious trouble. You're out of business.
As we enter the realm of artificial intelligence and this whole deep fake things, and all, how much more complicated does this get for businesses?
It's good news and it's bad news. Because the bad news is that the attackers they've coined out a strategy whereby with AI they can flood, as we are aware, may not be aware, 3,000 malwares are created every day.
Wow, that's a lot.
AI is going to hit the roof. But what is that? Most big software companies, the Microsoft's world, the Amazon, the Googles, they've come up with AI plans, so solutions that can help. I give an example of Microsoft Copilot. It has helped in productivity. You can do a simple thing as, okay, I just want give me a presentation for my 4-year-old debate on why private schools are better than public schools. It'll give you everything. You just have to edit. The same as well, that same productivity has been brought into security as well. So you can manage it. AI just helps you for any kind of threats on the landscape, even anticipates any form of threat. So AI is going to be a blessing, and if not properly harnessed, can also be a curse. So harness it very well. You
were mentioning training earlier. This is every employee, or just as far as the training in preparing yourself to make sure that you are not not at risk here. It cuts across
from the CEO down to the cleaner. It cuts across everybody,
because everybody's touching on machines and so on and so forth. Okay, we have a new minister of the ICT and digital economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. He's got a lot of priorities. He just mentioned the $500 million fund for SMEs and so on. Where would the ministry rank cybersecurity threats as far as their scope of what they're looking at for the country?
I guess you should be giving critical attention. Yes, because look at it, we order for things online. Our transportation is online. Education most times is online. So we should not just simply ignore that part should be given critical attention. And for the Honorable Minister, congratulations, Mr. Bosun Tijani. But one thing should be put on ground as soon as possible, which is have a framework that cuts across from NGOs to schools to hospitals to the government, even to the private sector. There should be a proper enactment. Cyber attacks are happening, but they are not reported, or they're not even recorded. But if you have where you put proper enactment, whereby anything goes wrong, that will make people sit up and make sure that the cyberspace, wherever they are operating, is properly secured. Yeah. So what I would advise the Minister is to do is just come up with a robust cybersecurity and information road plan that will help the country.
Okay, what about, I want to ask you about manpower to defend against these things. Right?
Yeah.
But really what I'm asking about is about skills.
Yeah.
Because of course, the government wants to build 1 million digital skills. How would you assess the skills level for young tech folks in the country?
Well, it's growing and it's promising. Yes, why I say it's growing is because people are entering into the field, are learning and becoming exposed to the technology. And why I say it's promising because there are jobs available for it. Yes, there are jobs both nationally and internationally. There are jobs available for it. So the skills is available, but most times we have little for much jobs.
Right.
Yeah, so that is why most times when the best offer that comes, see most of our young tech guys, they probably go abroad where the offer is better than actually here. So it's still evolving and we'll make progress.
How has if I can ask you about your own company, and how has the Japa phenomenon, if you will, impacting tech firms here like yourself?
Yes, it has impacted. It has impacted, and most times most companies want to please give us a clear notice.
Before you leave?
Yes, before you leave, because it's critical. Because as I said earlier, most of our operations practically run online.
Right.
So you are the tech guys, you're the one that handling and manage these things. So please, before you leave, let us know. So most times HR personnel, they send it out, please, if you are going, let us know. So we can actually prepare. Because the outside world looks attractive to our guys.
Yeah.
Because our guys are talented, well-skilled, and they are rugged.
Yeah.
So everywhere you go to the likes of the Amazon, the Googles, the Microsoft, all across Europe, all across America, down to Australia, you'll find at least a handful of Nigerian guys doing great things.
So if you and they say this in the medical sector and everywhere else, right? If we could harness that here, wouldn't that mean that we, so what's missing? What is missing? Is it because you were with us when we had the Minister of Finance and his speech in the morning. So how do you bring all that back home?
As I said, this is where I feel the Honourable Minister should, I believe he could do something good. It says that let's make a win-win. Why do I say win-win? I'll give an example with the GDPR.
Okay.
That's the Global Protection, Detection and Regulation in EU.
Fine.
They are the EU body that regulates information data security. And your data can't stay in the repository of any firm for more than 3 months.
Okay.
After 3 months, if anything goes wrong, that firm will actually be penalized.
Right.
But over here, companies have our data and it seems like forever.
Yeah.
So these are things that by the time this enactment comes, if you want to keep our citizens' data for 3 months, we'll allow you, but after that, you pay a fine. Or you pay money if you want to keep it in your repository.
Right.
So that there can be a balance. Let the companies coming into Nigeria give us a level playing field. Let our people as well have a level playing field so can as well harness and show their skills.
Yeah.
Let the government as well create an enabling environment. It will be a win-win for everybody
across the value chain.
Because I tell you what, Nigeria is a good place to stay.
Right.
Even if all the money you're going to earn abroad. But true about it is that the environment here is not conducive for our tech guys, even our other professionals as well.
Look, this has been a very informative conversation. It's Ikechukwu Luis-Bruce, lead cybersecurity at Descasio. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Lotus.